Alright, welcome to the recap. So, today was pretty weird day. I pretty much had two draws coming into the morning, which made it pretty difficult to trade. But we had these highs still here, these equal highs, and then ES was just at all-time high. So, I had two ideas. Either we just trade up slowly to these highs, or we retrace into this 4-hour gap. Because yesterday expanded a lot, so I didn't expect too much from today. But we had these highs, and then we also had these equal lows with Asia low and London low, and we pretty much had no trading below 1800. So my idea is maybe we can sweep this, hit the 4-hour, and then take a long, or maybe short down to this. But we're kind of just edging these highs, so that was pretty hard to read. But I just wanted to wait for 10 a.m. as per usual, and open was pretty bad. So you can see we're generating like all this liquidity here. We had pretty much nothing below 1800 here. Equal lows inside this new day opening gap. All these like equal lows here. And then open pretty much chops higher. And then at 10 a.m. we just dump, and it was very strange because we have no trading. Like there's no wick for this 1-hour candle. So once I saw that, I was pretty sure about a long. Just back up to this because this was data high because we had some news at 9:45. I guess there was like a small SMT though. But yeah, I just expected a small manipulation lower and then maybe just a small short to catch like the first 15-minute candle of 10 a.m. Either that or we just dump a lot more and maybe come all the way down to these to 1800 in this 4-hour gap. But yeah, it's just pretty choppy. But what I did see is this 1 minute, but I didn't like this because it's not really off of anything. Like it's kind of, I didn't really see anything. It's kind of out of OTE, but this didn't look very good. Like I didn't really like it, but then I did see like this 2 minute that forms. This looks pretty decent, and then we did have a 3 minute kind of, but we didn't tap back into that. So this made sense just to take back up to 10 a.m. The 2 minute looked the best. But then we just started chopping. And then I saw that we had this 5 minute that we made. And I wanted to see us come back to this 5 minute and get a 1 minute entry trigger out of this. Because this actually looked really good. We had no manipulation above 10 a.m. So I expected that to get traded back to. Maybe this high as well. We saw these equal highs up here. We only took one of them. And we pretty much edged this high. So I wanted to see 10:15 open lower right here, which it did. Kind of. It kind of just chopped. And then we did hit this 5 minute, and right here, I thought this 1 minute was going to flip bullish, but it doesn't. And then we just take the low. And right here, I was like, all right, what are we doing? And then we just kept dumping. We still have all these lows. After this, I just pretty much just wasn't sure what was going to happen. And I just waited for 11 to see if 11 could like maybe trade lower still into this gap. But yeah, it's really hard to short this with no trading above 10 a.m. and these highs, but it's also like really hard to long this with all this. So I just wanted to wait for, pretty much I expected this down here. And then we did have a 1-hour gap, but I didn't really want to take anything out of this 1 hour right here because of these equal lows still being here. So I still wanted to long, but I just waited for 11. Whoa. Okay. Here's 11. All right. So at this point, we finally swept these lows. I don't think we hit 1800 yet, but we still had the 4-hour gap. So that was pretty obvious to me that we are going to hit this 4-hour gap. And then also ES made equal lows with Asia low. And we still had this new day opening gap right above, and we still had the 4-hour on ES. So at this point, this just became my draw. It became pretty obvious that we are going to hit this. If we didn't, that would be pretty weird. And there was still no trading above 10 a.m., but we were all the way down here. So I figured a short would make sense. So I waited for the first 3-minute rejection block that 11 a.m. makes. So this 3-minute closed bullish, but we did get a 5-minute. So this is 11 a.m. and we get this 5-minute here. So this is what I took, and I just expected this 4-hour to get hit. So this made sense because the draw was pretty obvious. So this would have been like 1 to 3-ish. But what happens is, oh, also ES trades into this 5-minute gap, and I think we pretty much just had like this 3-minute rejection block here, and then rebalanced this little 5-minute leg. Yeah, hit OT of this. Like, we hit the last point of OTE here, so I didn't expect this to get reswept. But this actually gets reswept, which is pretty unfortunate. I still think this was good. If you look at ES, the 5-minute closed bullish, which is maybe not great, and then we come lower, hit this 5-minute rejection block, and then we come higher. And we're just pretty choppy, but then I saw that we actually hit midnight open again right here. So we reject midnight open again, and we're still holding OTE of this range. And we had an SMT right here. So what I saw is this was actually the first 3-minute rejection block that failed. And then ES had a 3-minute right here, which was holding. ES was a bit weaker. And we actually tap this 5-minute rejection block, this little one up here, midnight open, SMT. So then I re-entered on this 2-minute rejection block right here. So this became a 2-minute off of midnight, and this is what I took. And targeted the 4-hour. And my entry was like, it wasn't all the way up here, it was like here. So my entry could have been, I should have put my limit actually up here, but I didn't want to risk not being in the trade, so I kind of just put it a bit lower right here in case this didn't get tapped, which is fine. And then I wanted this 4-hour gap. And then this plays out pretty nicely. And then we actually get this big wick that edges my take profit. And I saw ES hit the 4-hour, so I closed. Like, unfortunately, my take profit got edged by this much. So I ended up closing around here once this started coming back up. So it ended up being like a 1 to 3. So pretty good trade. I think that both of these trades were good. They made sense to me with 11 a.m. opening higher and there being a pretty obvious draw. being this unfilled 4-hour gap, and the equal lows on ES with Asia low is what made it like really clear for me. So yeah, and from here we pretty much edged this 4-hour gap on NQ, and ES hit it, but we're probably just gonna chop from here because yeah, today was very terrible. Very weird that we leave this with no wick. Maybe we can hit this and this 4-hour could flip, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it was a really hard day. I think longs made sense, but shorts made sense too. So it was just a hard read, but one loss, one win. So yeah, all right. See you in the next one.